Back in the hotel for Van Gundy to find more time for Hubert Davis. We'll see if John Starks or Hubert Davis can handle the New York offense in the absence of Charlie Ward coming off the bench. I got to feel that Hubert Davis shooting the ball the way he did against Cleveland and the way he has in the game one of this series, but they got to try to find more minutes for him.
They don't need any more minutes for this guy. 44 points. 48% of his team's total. There is Hubert Davis looking on, and we're set to go. Chicago leading the series 1-0. It'll be Ewing and Longley to jump center. Patrick got it into the hands of Charles Oakley, playing with that mask because of a minimal fracture of the orbit of his right eye sustained back in the early part of April against Boston, caused him to miss 6 games. Here's Mason, low post. Rodman, the double team comes from Pippen. That leaves Oakley open, and the shot no good. Jordan takes the rebound away from Rodman. Into the hands of Ron Harper.
Good defense in the first possession by the Bulls, forcing Charles Oakley to shoot the shot. But you see the Knicks are trying to establish that low post dominance with with Anthony Mason down on the low post, and he drew the double team, got the open shot.
Mason guards Pippen. Here's Longley with a jumper. It's good, and the Bulls are up 2-0.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Michael comes out of this game. If he comes out to be Michael, the prolific scorer, or Michael, the setup guy, the decoy, to try to get guys like Longley, like Harper, and Pippen into the game offensively.
Derek Harper misses his first shot. Ewing with the rebound, puts it up short into the hands of Rodman. Pippen comes across, top of the key. Mason picks him up. Here's Longley. Harper the cutter, and they mistimed the pass.
Well, bad pass by Luke Longley. You know, when you got Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Scotty's giving him the little growl right there saying, you don't need the perfect pass, just run the offense and one of us will get a good shot.
Derek Harper picked up by Michael Jordan at midcourt. Now Starks comes off the screen, 0 for 9 in game 1, but he played terrific. And a block from Longley on Ewing.
Well, that's beautiful defense, Longley. Longley did a pretty good job on Patrick in game 1 down in the low post. He's got to find a way to score some points.
Rodman with the offensive board and the basket, and it's 4-0. And the Knicks have missed their first 4 shots of the night.
I like the shots the Knicks are getting, though. I like Patrick's aggressiveness down the low post. He's missed the first 2, but I believe that he'll be successful if he keeps doing that tonight.
Derek Harper with a nice drive and off the glass for 2. Here's Pippen at the other end.
That's another thing they need to get, the Knicks, Vern, is if they can't get the low post, they also need to get some penetration by their guards. That's the same as good low post play when you can get inside.
John Starks with a reach-in foul. His first, team first. Let's go back to the New York offense.
And this is how aggressive Patrick needs to be. Longley makes a good play, but that's still a good play. Derek Harper, the next best thing to good post-up play, great penetration. Does the same thing, draws the defense to you and creates shots for your teammates.
9:40 remaining first quarter. Here's Jordan. Passes on the shot, throws it underneath. Ron Harper, acrobatic play, and Rodman has another offensive board and a score.
Well, in 3 minutes, that's 1 more point than he scored the entire game in game 1.
Note the time. Rodman's the leading scorer for the Bulls. Here's pick and roll. Harper back to Ewing. Over Longley for 2.
Patrick had a great deal of success in the first half of game 1 off that pick and roll, shooting that perimeter shot.
Chicago up by 2. Bulls shot 50% in each of the games they won against Miami. Here's Ewing with a clean block. Underneath and off Rodman. That'll be a turnover. Chicago with only 8 turnovers in game 1. That's their first tonight.
Right back at you, Luke. You block my shot, I block yours coming back. Patrick has not played well in the low post against Luke, and I know that if he continues to be that aggressive player that he has throughout his career, then he'll win that battle.
Harper to Mason. And Mason travels. Jeff Van Gundy told us this morning he thinks the team needs to run and score at least 95. You agree?
Well, I think Van Gundy needs to get some sun. He looks a little pale there on the sideline. But yes, I agree. That's the toughest thing about playing Chicago. Everybody thinks about how you're going to stop Jordan and the Bulls. But another tough thing is being able to score against the Bulls. They're the best defensive team in basketball, in my opinion.
Longley, loose ball foul. And it's going to be called on Rodman. That's his first, team first. Harper, Oakley. Here's Derek Harper. 19 points. Really played well, but overshadowed because of the 44 that Jordan got the other day. Ewing got another one. We're tied.
Beautiful play for Ewing right there in the low post, Fern. Just takes it right aggressively at Longley. That time gets it up and over him.
We played 4 minutes, and Michael Jordan has yet to take his first shot.
Well, I think Michael wants to get everybody else involved. Doesn't feel like they're at their best when he has to carry the full load. So I think it's an intentional thing for Michael.
Ewing blocks Rodman's shot after another offensive rebound by Rodman. Here comes John Starks. Harper picks him up defensively. Tied at 6 with 7:35 to go in the opening quarter of play. Ewing got another.
That's a good shot for Patrick. He's being very aggressive down the low post. Acts like he wants the ball. Knows that his team needs him to create that dominance in the low post for them to be successful.
Mason guards Pippen. Pippen drives, dishes left, Longley. And a 3-second violation. Another turnover. Now here's Jordan with 49% of the field goals in game one. The other starters just shot miserably in that game.
Well, and he knows that. He wants to get other people involved in the offense, but it'll be interesting to see how long he goes with that concept. I guarantee you if they get behind by too far, he'll start trying to score more.
Starks kicks it out right side. The jumper no good. Longley with a rebound. Loses control. It'll be New York ball.
And that's a good play by John Starks right there, Vern, trying to create some offense. He can't shoot from the outside. Drive in and penetrate for Harper.
In game one, Michael Jordan faced a number of defenders, beginning with Anthony Mason. Next up, Derek Harper tried to stop Michael. And the switch to John Starks, that one didn't work at all. Harper went back for a while. And then they tried Hubert Davis on Michael Jordan. And all Michael did, soar back and all, was score 44 and add a legend to the legend. He scored 7 of the points on Mason early, 24 in all against Harper, 4 against Starks, 4 against Davis, and a couple of other guys took a run at him, and he scored 5 points on them.
Well, I think he scored 44 on the entire New York team. You know, it's a team defensive effort, not individual matchups, and even though they don't want too many people on Michael and focus too much attention and shut down the other players, I think that they did a fairly good job on Michael, forcing him to miss 17 shots.
Harper has it go in and out, gets it back from Mason off the offensive board, and misses the second one. Loose ball foul. They got John Starks.
Good looks by the Knicks in their offensive set.
Second foul on Starks. He will sit. And Hubert Davis comes on.
Oh, you know, that's a terrible thing. When you had an 0 for 9 game and you come out and you have to go out 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter, don't even get a chance to get a shot or do anything. Very frustrating for John Starks.
Starks, who set an NBA playoff record in a 3-game series with 14 3-pointers against Cleveland. Here's Pippen over Mason. Chicago now 1 of its last 7 from the field. There's another offensive board for Rodman and a loose ball foul called on the Knicks. On Hubert Davis, his first.
Well, and that's how Rodman kills you. You don't have to pay much attention to him in the half-court offense, and he just gets all the rebounds. And that's why, you know, out of the 17 shots Michael missed the other night, 8 of them were rebounded at the offensive end by Pippen or Jordan. By Pippen or Rodman, I mean.
Knicks went for the steal, got caught for the foul. Derek Harper, his first. Remember that rebounding edge in game one, 15-4 at one point? Well, Chicago has a 6 rebound edge already.
And Chicago had 18 offensive rebounds, and that's where it really kills you. When you're playing against these guys, you force Jordan to take a tough shot, and then Rodman or Pippen climbing the boards and get it back.
Harper, a little sloppy play early going, Chicago. Pippen tries to work the pick and roll, finds Harper, left side, off the front edge, and Oakley saves it. Gets it for New York.
Well, we've gone 6 minutes, and Michael hasn't decided to be part of the offense yet, and I just wonder how long it's going to be, Vern, before he decides to turn it on.
Mason drives the lane and is fouled. Rodman. That's his second.
Mason is a very good low post player, very strong guy, has no perimeter game, good quickness, good handle with the ball, and good strength.
Well, frustration early on for Starks and Rodman. Rodman goes by and says something sweetly, I'm sure, to Jeff Van Gundy.
I think he asked him how come he didn't get Pat Riley's sun tanning booth.
Well, you couldn't get a suntan in Chicago today, I promise you. Somebody forgot to tell him it was May 7th. It was cold here today. Ewing hits from outside. It's a 10-6 lead. Here's Tony Kukoc on for Rodman. Kukoc 1 of 8 in game 1. And here's another miss. Oh, Ewing with a sloppy pass. Jordan with his first shot of the game. He misses, but the putback goes to Jordan.
Well, that was a terrible outlet by Patrick, and that's one thing. You know, Pippen just gets an easy tip in. That might be something that just gets him going.
10-8, 5 minutes to go. Good rebound by Oakley. Over Kukoc, and he puts it in.
Well, and I think that's why we see Dennis Rodman starting against the Knicks right there. Charles Oakley just gets the rebound over to Tony, fights him for the ball, makes him pay.
Kukoc started the first 3 games of the playoffs, all 3 victories against the Miami Heat. Here's Jordan. In and out. He's 1 for 3. Longley with the rebound.
Well, Kukoc should be able to exploit Oakley at the other end.
There's Longley muscling his way in.
Longley's got a nice little left and right-handed hook down the low post if he can catch it deep enough.
Ewing, pump fake, drives the lane. Basket will count. And the foul goes against Kukoc.
Well, Tony never established position on the defense. He was there, but he had his body turned sideways. If he would have just sacrificed his body, squared his shoulders up, I think he would have got the call. Good play. Both officials had that. Patrick just makes a beautiful outlet pass to Michael Jordan. Michael goes in to attempt his first shot, but this is the kind of play. Scotty gets the easy little tip in. Sometimes that's what you need, just to get the lid off, to get your offense going.
Inexplicably, Patrick Ewing is hitting only 50% of his free throws in the 3 of the 4 games of playoffs thus far, and he misses his first tonight. He's a 76% free throw shooter over the 82-game season, 52% in the playoffs. Here's Pippen for 3. Nope. Tip back out by Longley. Saved by Pippen. Hubert Davis guarding him. Kukoc looks inside for Jordan in the low post.
Well, the Knicks talked about how important it was to keep the Bulls off those offensive boards, but it's a lot easier said than done.
5 on the shot clock. Ron Harper traveled. Patrick Ewing with 10 quick points, and the Knicks want to call timeout. 3 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the opening stanza of this one, a 4-point New York lead. Semifinals in the East, Chicago up 1-0, and Game 1, Atlanta and Orlando tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on TNT. Hubie and Bob Neal will be down there, and a fun matchup in the backcourt, Blaylock and Hardaway.
Well, Mookie Blaylock, one of the most underrated players in all the NBA, particularly in the guards in the East. Excellent Game 5 at Indiana, 5 3-pointers to help him there. But Anthony Hardaway, one of the up-and-coming future stars of the NBA and that dynasty they're building down in Orlando, I don't think Atlanta has much of a chance.
America's guests is what Lenny Wilkins referred to them. That's a line that used to be applied to a golfer named George Lowe years ago. Offensive foul, New York. On Patrick Ewing, that's his first.
Yeah, Patrick trying to free Hubert Davis up for an open jumper. Hubert shooting the ball 70% from the field in the playoffs so far. Got caught moving the shoulder. Patrick has a bad habit of setting those moving picks.
Chicago, 3 of its last 14 from the field. And Jordan, by the way, was not given credit for that basket earlier. It went to Pippen. Here's Jordan with officially his first basket of the night.
It did take Michael long to start getting in the flow. Right here, only 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And I expect Michael will start being a lot more aggressive offensively.
14-12, New York with an early lead. They trail by as many as 15 in the first half of the loss on Sunday. Here's Mason. Takes it over Kukoc again.
That's what they want to try to do. They want Tony to try to play defense. They don't feel that he can guard the low post. And they want to make him play as much defense as they possibly can.
Jordan way outside. Here's Scottie Pippen. Underneath to Ron Harper. Nice move.
Beautiful execution. Hubert got lost on the double pick. Harper, not a good perimeter shooter, decided to curl off the double pick instead of coming up what Steve Kerr would do, come up to shoot the jumper.
Harper and Davis in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Mason. Here's Hubert Davis. Finds Patrick Ewing. They're going to play him straight up. Over Longley. Offensive board. Charles Oakley. Here's Patrick again. Pippen made a wave at him with help.
Oh, my goodness.
And Oakley threw it away. Harper started toward the basket right when Oakley released the pass.
No, Oakley didn't even look. He tried to throw a no-look pass just to swing the ball to the top. He should have just thrown the ball right back down Patrick in the low post.
Turnovers are even now at 4 apiece. And a 2-point New York lead, 1:50 to go, opening quarter of play. Jordan had 15 points in the first quarter of the first game. He's got 2 tonight. And he's going to go to the free throw line for the first time.
Well, I don't know how Michael got that ball. It looked like it was coming right off into Patrick's hand. I don't know if Michael got away with a shove underneath or Patrick just mistimed that offensive rebound. Michael hanging around the glass. You can see right here, Michael gives him a little shove, knocks Patrick completely off balance, gets away with a push.
Jordan gets his first free throw of the evening, and he can tie the score with this next one.
Watch your trap. Watch your hit. Watch your hit.
Chicago, the only way they're staying in this game is through second chance points. That's 10 second chance points. Actually 11 now on that free throw by Jordan.
And a chance to tie. Scottie Pippen and Jess Kersey seem somewhat disinterested so far. Nice polite conversation. Actually, they were mopping up some perspiration on the floor. Here comes Derek Harper. Kukoc, here's the trap. Kukoc comes in the trap, and the Knicks lose it out of bounds.
Well, Derek Harper very frustrated. He said right there he got pushed. He said if that would have been Michael Jordan, they would have been a foul.
Jordan guarded by Harper. 80 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's Pippen with a jumper. And a loose ball foul called underneath on. Hubert Davis. That's his second.
Well, Scottie Pippen struggling a little bit from the outside right now, Vern. He was out here 3 hours before game time working on his shot. I think he'll get it. All he needs is make a couple and get him back in the flow offensively.
Well, 4 for 15 in game 1. He had played very well in the playoff series, reversing a trend that had set in the middle of February. Here's Steve Kerr on for Michael Jordan. And Harper back at the free throw line with his second.
Steve Kerr gave him a big lift in game 1, coming off, hitting 2 3-pointers, a little floater in the lane. 8 quick points when the Bulls were struggling to score.
Ron Harper gets the roll. Chicago has a foul to give with 1:10 to go in the quarter. Here's Derek Harper, picked up by Ron Harper. Charles Oakley, pump fake. Drive, stolen by Pippen. 3-on-1. Ron Harper.
Beautiful defense by the Bulls.
And the steal and three-pointer from Pippen.
The Chicago defense. Charles Oakley, not a good ball handler. Just made a turnover on a bad pass. Tries to put it on the floor through the entire Chicago defense. Terrible decision by Oakley.
8 quick, unanswered points by Chicago. Here's Ewing. No. And Kukoc is going to get called for the foul.
Well, Charles is trying to put the ball on the floor right here. Derek penetrates. Oakley's got the jump shot, tries to go by Pippen. 3 guys in there. Pippen strips him of the ball, takes it down the other way, gets an easy 2 points for Ron Harper at the other end. Then proceeds to throw the ball right back to Pippen for the three-pointer.
Kukoc will sit. Judd Bushler comes on now. Kukoc in foul trouble. Bushler and his wife, Lindsay, expecting their first child at any moment. Due date was May 8th. We've got the offensive foul.
Well, we've seen Scottie Pippen make 3 consecutive great defensive plays. Right here, they're pushing the pick-and-roll baseline. Harper just drives in there. There's Pippen waiting on the block. Sacrifices body, takes the charge. That's why Scottie Pippen is such a great basketball player.
4 New York turnovers in the last 5 possessions. Derek Harper will sit. And Gary Grant, who has not played in the playoffs thus far, makes the appearance. Charlie Ward, as Craig told you, Craig Sager, back at the hospital with a stomach virus. Bushler for 3. Ewing gets it for New York. And Grant will come across the timeline as the Knicks play for the final shot in the first quarter. Mason back to Grant for 3. Big basket for New York.
Well, it's interesting. Steve Kerr left Grant. They've been staying at home mostly with Starks, but Grant will leave. Maybe that's a good adjustment the Knicks can make. Get someone that they'll leave open and try to create some offense with their bench.
Well, Michael Jordan had a very quiet first quarter, but his teammates a quick 10 points, and they lead by 3. By 3. They lead at 22-19. Offensive rebounding. A New York problem, Danny Ainge.
Well, it's been their problem. We can see throughout the playoffs, even against a smaller Cavs team. And right now, tonight, they've given up 10 second chance points, 12 points off turnovers. That's the total 22 points that the Bulls have scored here in the first quarter.
New York had those 4 turnovers in the 5 possessions that really proved costly to them. Here's Steve Kerr. Let's set the lineup for the Bulls. It's Kerr, Michael Jordan, James Edwards. Budo's on the floor at the age of 40. Here's Kerr for 3. The tip, but Jordan is not there. And the rebound in the hands of Charles Oakley. Rodman back on the floor as well for Chicago. And Gary Grant, Hubert Davis, Oakley, Herb Williams, and Anthony Mason on the floor now as Patrick Ewing gets a blow. Here's Mason, guarded by Rodman. Rodman plays with 2 fouls. Batted back into the hands of Edwards.
Another beautiful defensive play by Scottie Pippen.
Kerr, Rodman shoved Oakley out of the way. No call. 7 rebounds for Rodman. Rodman had 12 Sunday after averaging only 6 per game in the 3-game sweep of Miami.
This is a tough matchup for the Knicks with Hubert Davis guarding a much taller and stronger Michael Jordan on the block.
Fade away. Got it.
Michael can get anything he wants with Hubert down there. He just has a lot height advantage and a strength advantage on the low post.
Lead is back to 5. Jordan is 2 of 5 from the field. 10:40 to go in the opening half. Gary Grant, first extended minutes he's going to get tonight since mid-April. Here's Grant from the corner, off the glass, gets his own rebound, puts it right at the feet of Scottie Pippen, and Rodman picks it up. 4 on 3, here's Kerr. James Edwards. The putback up and in, Michael Jordan.
And Michael again got away with a push. He just shoved Hubert Davis out of the way and went after the ball, anticipating the offensive glass.
Largest lead of the ball game now, 7 points for Chicago.
New York's whole game plan was to stop the Bulls from getting second shot opportunities, and they can't. They just can't keep the more athletic Bulls from getting second shots.
Loose ball foul on Anthony Mason. Time has been called. quarter. Starks. Yes! What a move by Starks, who was able to sky to the basket. That move by John Starks put the Knicks up 2-0, but they went on to lose the series in 6. And tonight, a frustrated John Starks.
Well, John Stark needs to have a flashback. And remember how good a player that he can be. A flashback just to the Cleveland series where he couldn't miss a shot.
He drew the donut here in game 1, 0 for 9. Here's Rodman, guarded by Charles Oakley. Pippen, loose ball. James Edwards saves it. Jordan takes the jumper.
Well, we see Michael turning it on offensively. Coming out and play with that aggressive nature that he had in game 1. And the way that he likes to play. Michael is a guy that likes to come out and attack offensively.
Starks and Ewing getting ready to come back on for New York. They've not scored in this quarter. Hubert Davis off the front iron. Offensive board, Oakley, the putback and the foul. And it's called on James Edwards.
Good offensive rebound by Oakley. Next to Rodman, he may be the second best offensive rebounder in the game. Not quite as athletic as Dennis Rodman down on the low post.
Oakley with 6 rebounds already this evening, 3 of them offensive. Ewing and Starks back on.
This is a great matchup between the two. I thought Oakley won the battle in the first game, getting 14 points and 13 rebounds, although he did play 10 more minutes than Rodman. But they're very similar. Nobody outworks these two guys. They play with a lot of heart, a lot of intensity. I think Rodman has a little better hairstyle, and he's a little more athletic. He can out-jump Oakley when they're having a battle and the ball's even.
Well, you got Rodman with the ever-changing eccentric hairstyle, and Charles Oakley with a Hannibal Lecter mask. Here's Starks. Ah, nice move. In and out. Here comes Kerr for Chicago. A 10-point lead. Jordan has scored 11 now. Mason guards it.
That was a beautiful move by John Starks in the open court. He almost did have a flashback to the earlier series, but good move. Intimidated a little bit by Scottie Pippen right there. Thought he got fouled.
Scottie Pippen will inbound for the Bulls. 29-19. They're up 10. 8:44 to go in the opening half of play.
And we see Anthony Mason matched up with Michael Jordan, trying to slow Michael down.
That's the third man that Jeff Van Gundy has put on Michael Jordan.
We'll see if Scottie Pippen can take advantage of the smaller John Starks guarding him, either on the offensive glass or down the low post.
Jordan misses. Rodman can't quite hang on to it. Gary Grant controls it for New York. Knicks in need of some offense. Starks, Van Gundy says we've got to have him penetrate. Here's Ewing way outside. Oakley by Rodman, blocked by Rodman.
Well, we have Patrick Ewing standing out on the top of the key a lot right here in the offensive set with Charles Oakley down on the low post.
May I assume that even though I know you began reading Rodman's biography or whatever the book is, you did not finish it?
No, definitely. Read about 4 pages. Can't recommend it either.
I browsed through it, and I was struck by the large type that they used.
That's for a lot of Rodman fans that can't read it.
7:55 remaining in the first half. Basket good. Edwards. Buddha.
Always been able to score down there on the low post. Been pacing himself all year. He's been on the injured list more than half the season, mostly with bogus injuries, just saving him for the playoffs.
Starks, penetrates, dishes to Mason, and they get the basket.
Again, that's what John Starks needs to do a lot more of, penetrate. He has got great quickness at the 2-guard position, and he needs to use that quickness to get shots for his other team.
Michael Jordan showing some quickness at the 2-guard position. Back to a 10-point edge, 7:10 to go in the half. Here's Gary Grant. Finds Starks. Jordan went for the steal. Ewing calls for it, guarded by James Edwards. Patrick with the runner. Got it. And he'll go back to the free throw line.
Now, Vern, that's Patrick's patented move right there. I'm just surprised. That's the first time I've seen that move in the first 2 games of this series.
Boy, he's quicker than I remember. .657 remaining, first half of play. Patrick Ewing getting ready to go to the free throw line. Posted up 4 times so far. 6 of 11 on the perimeter. They've been playing him straight up, Danny.
Well, double teams, and that's why they're not getting any production out of their guards, because they're not demanding double teams from Mason or Ewing. And if they're not going to demand double teams, they got to find other ways to get Starks, Harper, and Davis involved. They're combined 1 for 7, only 2 points through a quarter and a half. They have no chance of winning if they don't get any production out of those guys. Patrick
Ewing's problems at the free throw line, quite inexplicable. He missed 2 in a row at a key juncture in game 1. And he's 0 for 1 tonight.
And he missed 5 in a row in the last game in Cleveland and allowed Cleveland to get back in the game. He'll get it going. He's just going through one of those free throw shooting slumps.
Well, that one almost became bronzed by the time he fell through. 6:55 to go. Starks on Jordan. And Willie Anderson, number 40, is on for the first time tonight and the first time in the playoffs.
But Willie Anderson, a much quicker player on the perimeter than Tony Kukoc. Tony should be able to take his size down and make him pay down the low post.
Longley, Anderson went for the steal. Kukoc at the buzzer is now 1 of 21 from 3-point range in the playoffs.
Man, that was a shot that Tony had to shoot. There was no time left on the shot clock. He had to get there and let it fly.
Mason with another 2. After missing their first 8 shots of this quarter, New York has come back to hit 4 of 4. And they've cut the margin to 5. Longley looks for a cutter. Ewing goes for the steal. Starks does as well. Here's Derek Harper. Into the hands of John Starks, who's guarded by Steve Kerr. See if Starks penetrates. There's the pick and the roll. Illegal defense. First call tonight. There's the warning.
Good defense by New York at the other end. John Stark pulls a Scottie Pippen-like defense. Doesn't double team Longley, but reaches back in his lap as Longley puts the ball on the floor. Tries to go by Patrick in the low post.
5:49 to go. First half of play. Largest lead has been 10. The lead right now is 5-4 Chicago. Here's Harper. Back to Ewing. Takes the jumper. Hits it.
Well, that's the offense that Don Nelson got run out of town in New York. Patrick's shooting nothing but jumpers. But in these first 2 games, that's where Patrick's doing the majority of his scoring, is out on the perimeter.
I like when you asked Jeff Van Gundy this morning if they were running a Pat Riley offense or a Don Nelson offense.
He said they're running a Jeff Van Gundy offense.
Jordan has 15 points.
I think it's a combination of Riley Nelson. Maybe it's Pat Nelson offense.
5:05 to go. The lead is 5. Starks, Jordan. Here's Mason. Giving a shoulder to Rodman. Muscles his way. Rodman with a block. Outlet pass to Kukoc. Willie Anderson picks him up. He's right there. Into the hands of Michael Jordan. 4:44 to play first half. Kerr. Harper guards him. Loose ball foul. Called on Luke Longley.
Right here, Michael Jordan. He can get any shot that he wants down on John Starks or Davis down in the low post. Just does his patented post-up move. Kevin McHale-like move. Kevin McHale would be proud of that move down there. Rodman and Mason, this is a big battle. Very physical basketball players. Both of them get away with a little shove right there, but Rodman does a great job. Longley couldn't stop him. Pippen can't stop him down there. Rodman is the first guy that's been able to stop Mason in the low post one-on-one.
4:30 to go first half. Derek Harper guarded by Jordan. Gets it in the hands of Patrick Ewing. The cut back to Ewing. Double team from Kukoc. Leaves Anderson open for 3. No. Longley with the board for the Chicago Bulls.
Good defense by the Bulls. They're really pushing that pick and roll baseline, and it's giving the Knicks a lot of problems.
Rodman. Loose ball. He dived for it. Saves it. And now it's taken away by Starks. 2-on-2. Starks to Harper. Too strong. Can you believe that? Oh, my goodness. Jordan at the other end. Bet he doesn't miss.
No, too bad. John Starks making a very unselfish play at the other end of the court. Hasn't scored a basket. Gives the ball to Harper. Harper loses the ball. Bricks it off the backboard. Bulls come the other way. That's a 4-point turnaround.
Maybe a 5.
Maybe a 5.
Ewing picks up the foul, his second.
Patrick saying, what did I do? He just stood there, was planted there long before Jordan ever took off.
Michael Jordan now has 18 points.
18 already?
Yes. Remember we were saying he hadn't taken a shot in the game? But it's a quiet 18, right? That's like the heat in Phoenix where you live. But it's a dry heat. Foul on Ron Harper.
Good play by John Starks, trying to use his quickness to create shots. He needs to get to the free throw line. He needs to use his quickness to penetrate and try to make something happen.
John Starks will go to the line and shoot 2.
Well, they're having a battle in there. Ron Harper's telling Bernie Fryer and Jess Kersey that he was trying to pass, but when Starks heard the whistle, he double pumped and got the ball up to the rim to try to draw the 2 free throws.
Averaged 20 points in the first series. In game 1, 4 free throws to account for the 4 points. 0 for 5 from three-point range. He hasn't scored from the field tonight. He's shooting the second free throw here.
And Vern, the big difference is they had such a dominant low post play out of Patrick and Anthony Mason in the Cleveland series. They didn't have anybody that could guard him in the low post. They had to double team those guys, and it allowed the New York perimeter shooters to get hot and in the groove. Not only Starks, but Davis as well.
Rodman sits, Kukoc back on. Lead is cut to 6, 38-32. Here's Pippen, Willie Anderson guarding him. Jordan in the low post with Starks guarding him. Kukoc. Left side, here's Longley, shot clock at 6. Longley takes the baseline jumper.
Beautiful play by Ron Harper. Ron Harper does a lot of little things to the Chicago team that help them win basketball games that don't show up in the box scores.
Derek Harper, Ewing fell down, saves it, and calls time. Pippen obviously taunted him as he stepped over him. That's a bemused smile for Scottie Pippen and an angry Patrick Ewing. Let's take you back a couple of years. Game 3 between these two teams, 1994. That's Scottie Pippen. That's Patrick Ewing. Now, how about inducing a sense of deja vu? This was moments ago.
Well, it wasn't a dunk, but Scottie Pippen taunting Patrick. Patrick not happy, walking over the top of him. I think Patrick had flashback memories of when he got dunked on by Scottie Pippen earlier. Scottie does the right thing, walks away, smiles. Patrick very frustrated. His team's down by 8.
3:03 to go, first half. Ewing, Mason, Harper, Starks, and Oakley, the starting 5 on the floor for New York. Here's John Starks penetrating, draws the foul, goes to the free throw line again.
Good aggressive basket by John Starks, going right to the hole, drawing the foul on Longley. Again, they're trying to push that pick and roll baseline, but Starks is coming over the top, able to get over the top. Harper doesn't want him to be able to use that pick. Good aggressive move.
Foul on Longley, his second. Starks at the line. Bill Winnington getting ready to come on for Longley.
Let's see how long it takes for Bill Winnington to pick up that first foul.
You want to run a pool on this?
Yeah, I mean, he's coming in with 2:59 left in the quarter. They're going to have the ball first. I predict in the first 2 possessions he picks up a foul on Patrick Ewing.
First 2 possessions? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go 3.
Kind of a standard rule in the NBA. The backup center comes up, the officials try to clean the play up, and usually call it on that backup center.
Starks, the lead is 6. And we've got 2:57 to go. Kukoc, Harper. Here's Pippen. Mason gets back defensively. Scotty with the running hook. Nope. Rebound New York. Foul in the backcourt on Ron Harper.
Not a good foul by Harper, putting Starks back on the line. Starks is playing very spirited basketball right now. Very frustrated with his performance in game one. Working hard, playing every aspect of the game. And I think Starks likes this matchup. Right here you can see him trying to keep Jordan off the boards. Protects the ball. Harper reaches in, gets a cheap foul.
Now, for the purposes of our small wages, does that count as a possession?
No.
Okay.
They haven't even had the ball yet.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I don't want you backdooring me. Here's Starks. In game one, John 0 for 9 from the field, 4 free throws. Michael, of course, 44 points as he added to his legend.
I think Starks is going to be a little bit more aggressive in this game, and I think it's good that Van Gundy, even though he has 2 fouls, has him defending Michael. I think John rises to the occasion and loves playing against Michael. Had some of his better games in the playoffs defending Michael Jordan.
John has 6, all from the free throw line, and the lead is 4. Here's Pippen, guarded by Mason. Oakley now on Kukoc. Harper has Harper, for those of you who like symmetry. And here's Kukoc. Wennington, 5 on the shot clock. Ewing on Kukoc. The trap comes from Starks, and it's a shot clock violation.
Big defensive play by John Starks, filling in. He knew that Kukoc had Patrick and had Patrick beat to the basket. Jumped over, helped, drew the turnover from Kukoc. Right here we can see Starks recognizes that Patrick is going to steps up, leaves Jordan underneath the basket. Van Gundy told us today that John Starks is his best team defensive player, and that's a perfect example of it.
That's the 8th Chicago turnover, equaling the number they had in game one. Starks, strong move. Kukoc with 2 fouls had to back away.
And he's doing the right thing, using his quickness, taking advantage of his speed, getting to the hole, trying to draw fouls, getting easy hoops.
Here's Wennington. Nice move.
Yeah, Wennington, smart player, knows that Patrick doesn't want to foul and pick up a cheap one.
Now, Wennington should be picking up a foul in this possession, I think.
Right. If they don't give Patrick the ball here with Bill Wennington guarding down low, there's something wrong with the Knicks.
Pick and roll. Patrick comes out. Oakley. Nice pass underneath. Ball knocked loose. Take a look at John Starks on the drive.
Well, and this is one thing I think John can do. I think he's much quicker than Ron Harper on the perimeter. Put some pressure on the defense. Even if he doesn't have the lane, drive, penetrate, create fouls, or try to kick to the open shooters as they come over to help the penetration.
22nd timeout called by the New York Knicks. The lead is 4 with 1:29 to go in the first half of play. Well, we've got Orlando, Atlanta starting their series tomorrow night, but in the West, Seattle in a heck of a game last night. It rained threes in Key Arena.
Ooh, I love those types of games, Vern.
I knew you would. And earlier tonight, Utah shocked the San Antonio Spurs at home, winning by 20. They go up 1.
Utah with a lot of momentum after that big Game 5 win.
Harper with a 3 at the buzzer. And the Knicks trail by 1. Pippen to Ron Harper. Now Starks has him. Derek Harper back on Michael Jordan this possession. Kukoc in and out. He's now 1 for 21 in the playoffs from three-point range.
Well, they need Kukoc or Pippen to get something going offensively. The Knicks have done a good job defensively. And they keep them to the 1 shot. The Chicago Bulls have had trouble scoring.
Actually 1 of 22. Final 50 seconds, in and out. Ron Harper clears it. Scottie Pippen. Off the back rim into the hands of Harper, who finds Jordan, and they miss again. And a chance for New York to go back on top. They trailed by as many as 10 early in this quarter. They were down 15 in the second quarter on Sunday. Came back to tie it at 67 all in quarter number 3.
Here's the foul I was waiting for.
Well, no foul, and that was the third possession.
Well, that was a good shot right there by Patrick. Just wasn't able to connect. Saw the double team coming, spun away from it.
All right,
settled for the fadeaway jumper.
And that means the kitty will grow to game 3.
Well, Patrick here does a good job, but he remembers that deja vu from the last time, gets over there a little bit late. I don't think they can give him credit for a blocked shot on that one right there. Harper, knowing the shot clock's going down, Michael just a little bit late recovering, is able to make him pay for that penetration again.
9.3. Chicago 38% from the field as a team despite the victory in game 1. They shot 50% or better in each of the games against Miami, and Scottie Pippen tonight is 2 for 10. Coming up on the Reebok halftime report, Cleveland Cavalier head coach Mike Fratello joins Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller in the studio. They'll have highlights of game 1, San Antonio and Utah.
We got Willie Anderson matched up with Michael Jordan right here, not wanting to pick up a cheap foul.
Kukoc for 3. Air ball. What kind of slump is Tony Kukoc in?
He's in a little bit of a funk. He needs to get something easy to get his confidence back offensively.
He's 0 for 3 on threes tonight and 1 for 23 in the playoffs this season.
Well, how about trying to get him something other than a 3? Why don't you try to get him a fast break bucket or try to get him something in the low post or create an isolation for him to score in other ways? They got Charles Oakley on him. He should be able to beat Oakley off the dribble.
Steve Kerr comes back on. Hubert Davis does for New York. And Patrick Ewing. I think he's jawing at the fans. I don't think it's the officials.
He was getting on the fans in the first row.
18 for Michael Jordan in the first half. 6 of 11 from the field. We reached the midway point with the Bulls up 42-41. And we'll check the floor for you. Here's Pippen, 2 for 10. And he hit 46% in the regular season. Ron Harper guarded by John Starks. Right wing, Jordan takes the jumper off the front edge. And Anthony Mason has it, gets it in the hands of Derek Harper. Back to Mason. The putback no good. And here comes Rodman with another rebound. Starks with the steal. Rodman has 12 rebounds. Underneath, Anthony Mason. No again. Battle into the hands of Ron Harper.
Well, 2 fast break opportunities, a 2-on-1 and actually a 1-on-2 on that second one. Opportunities for Mason to get the score. They couldn't finish off the baskets.
Jordan finds Longley. It's tipped out of bounds. New York will inbound. Here's an interesting stat. With John Starks on the floor tonight, the Knicks are up by 11. When he's on the bench, they're down by 12.
Well, John's been very good. He was not only good offensively there in the second quarter, getting him 8 points, 6 from the free throw line, but I thought he did a good defensive job on Jordan, making him work extra hard.
Basket from Oakley, and the New York Knicks have reclaimed the lead. Their last lead was 1:39 remaining in the first quarter. They trailed by 10 in the second quarter. They did not lead in game 1, though they tied it twice. Oakley with a rebound. Starks finds Mason. Pippen defensively. Here's Ewing over Longley. No. Rodman with his 13th rebound.
Well, the Knicks have had 4 good looks at the basket so far to start this half. They just got to be able to make those shots if they have a chance of beating Chicago.
Pick and roll, Harper and Rodman. Ron Harper underneath the basket. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Pippen driving. Rodman misses with the follow. Pippen is now 2 of 11. And the pass is tipped. No, it was not tipped. Starks and Derek Harper misconnect.
Well, Oakley and Rodman have been in a battle this whole series, and they're going to continue battle as long as this series goes on. 2 very aggressive players. They both know how to act. They both know how to rebound.
That is the first New York turnover in the last 13 minutes of play. Recall that they had 4 turnovers in 5 possessions during one stretch. Late first quarter. In and out for Pippen.
They continue to struggle in the half-court sets.
Pick and roll, Starks and Mason. They force him baseline. Mason picks it up. There's Ewing underneath. And he misfires.
Another easy miss shot. Good execution by Mason, taking the ball to the basket off the double team of Starks.
Jordan runs into Ewing. Nope. Oakley, not Ewing.
Phil Jackson not happy with Chicago's offense right now. They're struggling. New York's getting good looks, can't finish. Chicago can't even get a good look at a basket.
9:30 remaining, quarter number 3. Knicks up by 1. Patrick Ewing tonight, 15 points. He's been matched up straight up against Longley. Much of the night he scored 12 against him. Buda Edwards on for a short time. Patrick got 3 against him. Wennington a very short time. Wennington, by the way, did not pick up the foul, so I picked up the popcorn.
No, Patrick, right when the game started, Vern, he wasn't aggressive in the first half of game 1 and settled out for the perimeter shots. And here, he started the game out quick, very aggressive, going to the basket, and kind of fell asleep and started shooting nothing but perimeter shots in the second quarter.
Jordan, fadeaway jumper. That ends the drought in the second half for Chicago.
Oh, and beautiful defense by the Knick guards that time are all over Michael.
Bulls now 1 of 7 from the field in the quarter. Jordan is 8 of 17 in the ball game. Anthony Mason, guarded by Rodman, picked up 2 quick fouls and nothing since. Here's Starks. Pump fake. Takes the shot into the hands of Scottie Pippen. Mason is back. So is Harper. So is Oakley. Out to Michael Jordan, picked up by John Starks. Jumper falls.
Well, as soon as you see the game in trouble, who comes to the rescue? Michael Jordan once again. It's 2 very difficult shots.
Back to a 3-point Chicago edge. Well, many thought that Sunday was going to be New York's best chance to steal one here. But they're down by only 3 here in the third quarter in game 2. Patrick Ewing, now they're down by 1, and the Bulls are not playing much better than they did Sunday afternoon.
Ooh, another difficult shot, though, Vern. What a great shot. Good defense by the Bulls. To the 2 stars hitting very difficult shots to keep their team in this game.
Longley. Back to Jordan. This one not there. At the other end, Harper was waiting for it, gets the pass. Takes the jumper, in and out. Longley with a rebound.
That's okay. That's a good shot by Harper. They need to get good looks. If they try to use some more clock, they might not get as good a look as Harper had on the fast break.
Pippen continues his drought. He's now 2 of 13. Jordan. Tip to Longley. Left side. Scottie Pippen. 3-second violation, however, while all that was going on.
Well, watch how good Michael Jordan gets right here. He comes over to gets the open pass here. Here comes Starks over to double team him. Jordan just shoots and runs away from the double team, shoots right over Harper, right in his face. That's a very difficult shot.
So is drawing on the fly like that, isn't it? Especially with a moving target.
Yeah, with that telestrator way over there, it's very difficult.
Here's Ewing. He's fouled by Longley.
I'm Vern again. I can't say it enough. I'm just surprised that Patrick doesn't do more of that. Keeps the pressure on Longley, beats him off the dribble, be more aggressive when he catches it in the low post.
Longley's 3rd foul, so he gives way to Bill Wennington, and Patrick goes to the line again.
I just don't believe that Luke Longley can guard Patrick in that type of scene right there. Patrick's been settling a lot for the outside jumpers. We'll see if he changes the mentality here in the second half as he did in game 1 second half.
This is only his 3rd free throw of the night. He's now hit 2 of 3, and we're tied again.
You know, a lot of times when a player is struggling from the free throw line, it makes them afraid to go to the basket, to have to go back to the free throw line to try to score.
One of 2. Pippen has it. Pippen and Harper, and Wennington and Jordan and Rodman. Rodman gives it off to Pippen. Got the runner. No! Offensive foul, no basket.
Beautiful play by Patrick Ewing. Scottie Pippen struggled from the perimeter. Feels like he needs to find another way to get an easy basket. Does the right thing by going to the basket. Beautiful help defense by Patrick Ewing, taking the charge.
7:15 to go, third quarter. Knicks and Bulls tied game 2 from United Center in Chicago. Here's Ewing. Wennington guards him. Jordan comes back and waves at him. Ewing takes it in, got the basket, and goes to the free throw line.
Well, the first possession in the second half should counter that third possession in the first half, so we're even on that side bet. Wennington fouls him first time Patrick touches the ball in the low post.
You just want the popcorn back.
Well, Patrick's doing a good job, though. This is the kind of aggression he needs to have, is just attack the defense, put those guys all in foul trouble.
Boy, what a struggle at the free throw line.
If he keeps shooting free throws like that, then I'll be all for him to shoot the perimeter jump shot.
2 of 5 from the free throw line tonight. And a 2-point New York lead. Here's Pippen. 2 of 13 and a turnover.
Now you can see Scotty had the open three-point shot from the perimeter, but he's not feeling confident whatsoever in that three-point shot right now.
Starks. Harper, good job of boxing out, cleans the rebound down, finds Scottie Pippen. Neither team hitting well. Here's Rodman guarded by Ewing. Mason's on Pippen. John Starks late getting it. Ron Harper for 3.
Well, Starks decided to gamble right there. Go double team Michael Jordan, who usually just shoots fadeaways anyway. We saw the double team didn't help when they went to double Jordan the time before. That time leaves leaves Harper wide open for a 3.
Mason underneath the basket kicks it out to Starks, who drives, and a 3-second violation.
Well, right here, Starks comes a little earlier because Jordan hit the last one, but there is no rotation to Harper. They're just going to concede the wide open three-pointer to Harper. They got to make a decision, the Knicks do, on defense. Are they going to double team Michael and take everybody else out of the game? Or are they going to let Michael play one-on-one? Can't let him do both, Fern.
Back to a one-point Chicago edge. 5:45 to go in the quarter. Jordan is stripped of the ball. Another Chicago turnover. Starks barely hangs on to it. Derek Harper slows it down. The entry pass to Patrick Ewing. Pippen comes on the double team and it makes him pay in the corner. A 3-point basket for Derek Harper.
And the same thing for the Bulls at the other end. They said they're going to let the three-headed monster of Chicago play Patrick one-on-one in the low post. There they double down, leave Harper wide open for a 3. That's the way to get your other teammates involved.
Pippen for 3. Got it. Well, he finally found an oasis.
And that's the biggest basket Scotty's hit in a long time. Clapped his hands, felt very good. He needs to be able to shoot that shot because they're giving him that shot all night.
Harper at the other end. Misses. Mason can't control it. Here comes Ron Harper. And Derek Harper knocks it out of bounds.
Oh, good defense by Derek Harper. Terrible fast break execution by Ron Harper. You got Ron Harper and Michael Jordan on a 2-on-1. You got to get nothing less than a dunk.
New York with 8 turnovers in the first quarter to only 4 for Chicago, but look at the difference since. We've got a ball game.
Michael Jordan's injured back has received the most modern pharmaceutical and scientific treatment, and now that he's healthy, he says, please, no more home remedies. He's gotten the usual, the lotions, the ointments, the pills, the plasters, the rubs, and the sprays, but also the unusual. This is pulverized willow bark. That is supposed to be nature's aspirin. Dried apples, that's a laxative. Chew of peppermint, that's supposed to numb the pain. How about this one? Minerals, herbs, and animal organs to get rid of the supernatural. Exotic mushrooms, that's supposed to be a stimulant. And my favorite, leeches to suck out the bad blood. Hey, Vern, got any back pain tonight, buddy?
Hey, Craig, I had some of that pulverized willow bark on my salmon last night. It's terrific.
That looks like Bill Walton's home remedy right there for his feet and back, particularly the mushrooms.
Yeah. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Here's Jordan guarded by Harper. Spin move, loses control. Another Chicago turnover. Here's Starks. Back into the hands of Derek Harper. Harper for 3. Got it.
Good execution by the Knicks right there. And you can see the Knicks are playing very confident basketball. They're taking the open shots when they're there. But the bottom line is the Bulls are just starting to turn the ball over way too much, allowing New York to get easy baskets in transition.
In the third quarter now, 9 points off turnovers for the Knicks. Here's Jordan in and out. Pippen with the offensive board draws the foul.
Well, Pippen got switched off, went right to the boards, knew that Michael was going to shoot the ball. Right here, Starks gets beat on the pump fake, but recovers very quickly, jumps up. There's Oakley over to help on the shot too. Michael had a pretty good look. Pippen anticipated the shot, moved in, got the offensive board.
Well, that's a fortuitous bounce. Went about 3 feet up in the air and plopped right back through. Jordan gets a rest. Pippen with another free throw. Michael sat the last minute of the first quarter.
You know, that might be a good idea to have Michael off the bench with Kukoc and Pippen. Maybe they'll try to stop watching Michael try to score the points and try to do something on their own with Michael resting on the bench.
Starks into the hands of Mason. 9 on the shot clock. 4:05 in the quarter. Here's Ewing, the double team from Kukoc. No basket. Foul before the shot.
Another foul on Winnington. Good execution, good aggressive move by Patrick down there. Kukoc is trying to help out. He just spins on Winnington. Winnington gives him a little shove in the back. Ticky-tack foul by Winnington, but that's the nature of the beast when you're a backup center in the NBA.
That's the third team foul on Chicago. Here's Harper. Pippen guards him. Starks off the screen. Ewing calls for it. Kukoc laying back. Oakley takes the three. And Rodman has another rebound. That's 15 rebounds.
Not a bad look for Oakley. They challenged him and dared him to take the three. He knew how Kukoc was going to play him. Not a bad look for Oakley.
Pippen, but before the shot, a whistle.
Chicago's struggling right now in the half-court offense. They're just not taking care of the ball. They're not getting good looks. New York's defense has a lot to do with it. Mason has done a good job on Pippen, on Kukoc. Starks and Harper have kept Michael under check, kept him to shoot the ball from the perimeter, and kept him off the free throw line.
Chicago 4 of 16 tonight. They were ineffective in game 1 as well. 3 of 19 in game 1 from three-point range.
Well, the only thing New York hasn't done perfectly on defense is keep the Bulls off of the offensive glass.
Ewing, Kukoc out on him. Foul on Ron Harper. His third.
And there's John Starks again using his quickness on Harper.
4th team foul. And Mason will throw it in.
Well, they got to get the ball down to Patrick in the low post. He's got Bill Winnington guarding him. They know that he's going to get the benefit of the calls down there. He's been able to get easy baskets to the hoop.
Starks, see if he takes him off the dribble. Nope. Here's Ewing. Double comes from Kukoc. Ewing goes baseline and travels.
Well, they decided to double team Patrick that time, and he didn't make a good adjustment. You see the double team coming, you got to get the ball up to the open man. Chicago's done a good job of confusing Patrick in the low post.
Pick and roll, Winnington, Harper. Ball is knocked out of bounds, and a foul called before it goes out of bounds. Foul was on Starks, his third.
Well, there, John Starks is cheating on the pick and roll. Harper decides to use his quickness and go baseline. Pretty good defensive play by Starks right there. Covered a lot of ground after he tried to push Harper to the baseline.
Picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter, and he's going to have to give way now to Hubert Davis with 6 seconds shy of 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Ron Harper at the line.
Starks has been a big boost right here defensively, creating turnovers, getting the ball to the basket. He needs a blow sometime in the game. Hubert Davis has shot the ball well, probably giving him a rest while Michael's resting at the other end.
Harper with his second. Bulls up by 2. Now for the Knicks now, Derek Harper, Anthony Mason, Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Hubert Davis. They kick it back to Patrick Ewing. Rodman, another rebound. 16.
I just don't like that offense, Vern. I just think that if you get the ball down to Patrick on the post and Harper's shooting the ball well from the three-point line, you got Hubert Davis there, I think good things will happen.
Harper over Hubert Davis, no. Ewing with the rebound. Here come the Knicks trying to force it. Hubert Davis fouled by Scottie Pippen. That's his second.
Hubert Davis, Vern, one of the best shooters in the entire NBA. Hasn't had a great reputation of being able to play the defensive end, although that's improved a great deal. He came in being able to be a great shooter, had a lot of weaknesses to his game. Nobody in the league works harder in practice before the games. We've seen him out there 3 hours shooting around at shoot-arounds before games. Loves to play the game. I think he has a great future.
Chicago 50% in each of the first 3 games in Miami. 38% for the night in the win here Sunday, and 35% tonight. And Hubert Davis misses the free throw. My goodness. Wennington, it goes out of bounds, hit last by the Knicks.
He was trying to throw the ball down court to Ron Harper. Ron Harper was open on the wing. Good vision by Dennis Rodman, just a horrible pass.
Kukoc picked up by Mason. Here's Scottie Pippen finding Ron Harper in the corner. He drives strong to the lane, goes for Rodman underneath. It's knocked out of bounds, and Chicago will throw it in.
Well, right here with Michael Jordan out of the game, Ron Harper seems to be the most aggressive offensive player for the Bulls.
6 on the shot clock, 2 in the game clock in the third quarter. And the Bulls up by 1. Here's Scottie Pippen. Turnaround jumper. And the Knicks have it.
Well, Scottie's still struggling, but that's a shot. That's a tough shot. He had to shoot over a double team. No time left on the shot clock. Those are the kind you don't really like to shoot when you're struggling from the field.
4 of 15 Sunday, 3 of 16 tonight.
Well, and he's still been a little bit of a factor because of his offensive rebounding, because of the great defensive plays that he made in the first half. But they really need him to step up and score here. I just don't know if Michael will be able to do it. But Jackson's got Michael rested over on the sideline. Maybe he feels he's going to need 20 points out of Michael in the fourth quarter to win this game.
Now let's take a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard. One game earlier this evening, Utah demolished San Antonio by 20. Anthony Mason for 2.
Ooh, that's a bonus when you get a shot from Mason from more than 12 feet away. More than 8 feet away, for that matter.
Final 125. And the Knicks leading by 1. Here's Kukoc guarded by Mason. Scottie Pippen guarded by Derek Harper. Skip pass out to Ron Harper for 3. Another big basket from Ron Harper.
Well, you can see how New York does not respect Ron Harper, because when they leave to double off of Ron Harper, they make no attempt to rotate anybody out to him. Even Dennis Rodman is standing under the basket. Oakley won't go out to leave him, so they have no respect for Ron Harper's three-point ability. He's made him pay twice in a row.
Ewing is stripped to the ball. It goes off Ewing. Take a look at the three-pointer from Ron Harper.
Well, once the ball was knocked out, they should have recovered to Harper sooner, but they continued the trap all the way out to Scottie Pippen and left Ron Harper open for the 3.
We've had 2 ties and 8 lead changes in the third quarter alone. Kukoc. Ron Harper for 3. This one won't fall. Ewing has the rebound. Foul by Wennington in the backcourt.
Well, good 2-for-1 possession right there. They were trying to push it up the court, 2-for-1, but Wennington did him a favor, reached in and got the cheap foul, sending Patrick to the line. Might be a good foul for Wennington, the way Patrick's been shooting the free throws.
Look at this free throw disparity and the low number really for both teams, but particularly for Chicago.
Yeah, New York's done a great job defensively, keeping Chicago on the perimeter. Kukoc and Pippen have not been a factor penetrating to the basket. They've done a good job of keeping them on the perimeter. If it wasn't for Jordan and Harper's 2 3-pointers, Chicago would really be struggling.
Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr coming back to the floor now for the Bulls, and Pippen and Rodman will sit. And Patrick Ewing has one more free throw. We are tied at 59 with 36 seconds to go. Quarter number 3, game 2, best of 7 series. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, Kukoc.
That's a great idea. All of a sudden, take Mason off of Kukoc, put Oakley on Kukoc. That's what Phil Jackson wanted. Spread the floor with your outside shooters and let Kukoc take Charles Oakley. First big play by Kukoc of the night.
His first basket tonight, 1 of 5. Here's Harper for Oakley. Mason has has the rebound. Kicks it back out to Hubert Davis. Air ball. The putback, no. The second putback, no. And Wennington saves it for Chicago. A big quarter for Ron Harper. His threes help maintain the edge for the Bulls, but it's a shaky edge. A 2-point margin with 1 to play. Back in the beautiful city of Chicago, Illinois, the second game in the second round of the 1996 NBA Playoff Series. Vern Lundquist, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager. And the Chicago Bulls leading by 2. In game 1, Ron Harper did all the dirty work. A block shot on John Starks. This steal late in the game. And it was Ron Harper's playoff defense that helped give Chicago the victory. In the first round against Tim Hardaway, he held Hardaway to 32%. And tonight, offensively, those 2 big threes in the third quarter.
Yeah, that 8-point run while Jordan was on the bench were huge for Chicago in maintaining that lead. Michael Fresh now can come out and try to get his 20 in the fourth quarter.
Knicks open it up offensively with Hubert Davis, Herb Williams on the floor. Here's Davis for 3, Wennington with a rebound. Herb Williams, Oakley, Derek Harper, Mason, and Hubert Davis. Rodman, Kerr, Pippen, Michael Jordan, and Wennington for the Bulls. Here's Rodman underneath the Pippen. Mason has it. Pippen hits another.
Big hoop by Scottie Pippen right there in the low post. Good defense by Mason, making Pippen use his height to shoot the fadeaway jumper over him in the low post.
Scottie Pippen now 4 of 17, goes for the steal, is on the line. As he grabs it, did he call timeout? Yes. Smart play. 22nd timeout called by Pippen as he lost his balance.
Well, when Scottie starts hitting those outside shots, you know, he just ups his defensive intensity right there. And that's a perfect example, anticipating the entry pass. You can't take for granted the entry pass when you got Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan or Ron Harper defending you out on the perimeter.
These 2 teams get a 3-day break as the series goes back to New York, and you'll see Game 3 Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern on NBC. And Saturday late afternoon, Sunday rather, 5:30 Eastern. If there is a Game 5 to be played, it's back here next Tuesday night, and Danny and I will be back for that one. Game 6 back in New York if necessary, and then, of course, a Game 7 back here a week from Sunday. Well, the Czar and Cheryl Miller both said this thing's going to go 6.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No. I say 5.
I always enjoy it when you and Mike Fratello disagree.
Well, we're not too far off. I don't usually disagree with Fratello.
I've noticed that. Yes, he's your mentor. Now, I've got to get you to adopt his clothing style, though. 63-59.
His clothes don't fit me, though.
Yeah, you're right there.
That's the size of clothes I wore in the 6th grade.
4-point lead, 63-59. Herb Williams cuts the lead in half.
Good shot by Herb Williams. There's another center for the Knicks who likes that perimeter jump shot. Good penetration by Harper, though, off the high pick and roll.
63-61. Jordan guarded by Harper. Hubert Davis has Steve Kerr. Five on the shot clock. Wennington wide open underneath, and is fouled by Herb Williams.
Well, that was great execution right there. Herb Williams very concerned about Michael Jordan coming off that high pick by Wennington. Wennington just slips down to the basket early, draws the foul on Charles Oakley, trying to help out. We'll see how long Jeff Van Gundy can keep Patrick on the bench here. If they keep it close, Patrick and Starks get a good rest. They'll have the energy they need down the stretch to hold off Chicago's run.
I think you thought maybe they were a little bit fatigued in the latter stages of Game 1.
Yeah, all 5 starters played 40 minutes or more in Game 1, and they had to. Van Gundy had to play them that way because they were always fighting from behind. Never had an opportunity to give them a rest, or they could have been down by 20.
Wennington with another free throw. Rodman sits. Kukoc is back on. Dennis
never happy when he's taken out of a game.
17 rebounds for Dennis Rodman. That is a playoff high for this year, and it equals the number of rebounds, his high number of rebounds against New York. Pick and roll, Derek Harper. Willie Anderson back to the floor for the Knicks. Gets it back in the hands of Harper, who's guarded by Kukoc. Here's Mason in the low post with the reverse layup. Got it.
Oh, beautiful move by Mason right there. They had a double mismatch. They had Jordan on Mason down low and Harper on Kukoc out top.
Mason in double figures with 10. The lead back to 1. Kerr finds Jordan. Gets the pick from Kerr. It looked like an accidental screen and roll.
Well, that's a moving screen and roll right there. Steve Kerr just runs down and picks off Derek Harper on the pick. But right here we see Mason just abusing Michael down low. That's a Michael trick.
Time has been called. The lead is 3. 9:41 to go. And it's time now for tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. The Bulls with 45 rebounds to 32 for the Knicks. And the forwards, Kukoc 1 of 5 tonight, and Scottie Pippen 4 of 17. Well, on Monday of this week, Oprah Winfrey interviewed Dennis Rodman. Gene Siskel reviewed the performance and gave it 2 thumbs sideways.
I wonder if Oprah came here, if Dennis got her those tickets tonight.
Matthew Modine is here trying to forget Cutthroat Island. And Dennis Rodman realizing that Oprah is here.
And Oprah's single, isn't she?
Yes.
Do you think she's
let's
here,
start that rumor.
You think she's here to see Dennis, or is she here to get makeup tips from Dennis?
Let's be rumor central. It's Danny Ainge and Vern Lundquist on Entertainment Tonight. We got a nice ring to it? No. 9:30 remaining in this one. Here comes Pippen. Left side, Michael Jordan. The lead is 4. Game 2. Bulls up by 1. Here's Kerr. And all of a sudden the lead is 6.
Well, good execution, but the Knicks, a bad turnover by Anthony Mason at the other end. They've got to take care of the ball. They've done a good job of that in the second and third quarters.
Harper for 3. It won't fall, and Pippen clears it. Dangerous time for the New York Knicks now. Made more so by that runner jumper from Scottie Pippen, and time has been called.
Van Gundy can't wait any longer, Vern. He's got to come back in with Ewing and Starks back in the game.
The Chicago Bulls gave their fans reason to cheer in that 51-second stretch, and the fans responded. They've not been down since we went to commercial.
Well, Van Gundy got Starks and Patrick right back into the game as soon as the crowd started getting going. Patrick's fresh. Starks been out for a while. They should be ready to go.
Steve Kerr fouls John Starks.
John Starks feels very confident in the match with Steve Kerr defending him out on the perimeter. Right here, Patrick sets a high pick and roll, but I don't think Starks needs a pick and roll. I think he can drive by Kerr and create a shot for himself or his teammate at any time.
That's Kerr's first tonight and the first team foul in the fourth quarter. Here's Starks, Patrick Ewing. Longley back on defensively now against Ewing. Into the corner, out to Derek Harper for 3. Touch last by Patrick Ewing.
Well, good execution by the Knicks. Unfortunately, Harper missed the open 3. They got to make those open 3s when they decide to double team Patrick down low.
There's the significance of John Starks' contribution tonight. Minus 19 with him on the bench. Here's Michael Jordan. Back to Kukoc for 3. That one still won't go.
Well, Tony is really struggling from the perimeter. But, Vern, they're still up by 8. You know, imagine if Tony Kukoc and Scottie Pippen would shoot the ball like they do during the regular season.
In the playoffs, 1 for 24. Under 8. That ain't good.
1 for 24, I think. I just took a little Spanish in
no, that was Swedish. That was Swedish.
Yeah.
That was Swedish in case I got it wrong. 71-63, 7:40. New York has 4 points in 4 minutes in this quarter. Pippen. Well, he found the oasis to end the drought, and now he's dipping the ladle in. Oprah kind of likes it.
Well, Scottie Pippen been quiet, but the great thing is that he did all the other things to help his team win the game. And they kept the game close. And then when Scottie decides to get hot, all of a sudden they're up by 11, just like that, Vern. Right here, Willie giving him a lot of room out there for the three-point line. He hasn't been very successful. Good defense by Willie conceding that shot. But when Scottie starts hitting those three-pointers, he becomes a guy that can be unguardable.
A 10-0 run in the last 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And that has given the Chicago Bulls their largest lead of the night at 11. 7:32 to go. Now let's check now. Anthony Mason, Derek Harper, Starks, Patrick Ewing, and Charles Oakley on the floor for the Knicks. And Phil Jackson counters with Jordan, Rodman, Longley, Kerr, and Scottie Pippen.
Well, Van Gundy makes an adjustment, gets Oakley back in the lineup. Phil Jackson quickly counters, bringing Rodman in. The officials are asking, did they make a substitution? Because Rodman came in late right there, and that's the confusion right now. Making sure that during the 22nd timeout, New York made a substitution, which would allow Rodman to come in.
That's settled. We play basketball. 74-63 with 7:32 remaining in the ball game. Here's Derek Harper. Michael Jordan defending him. John Starks stripped of it. Longley picks it up. Here comes Scottie Pippen. Jordan right side. Thunder dunk.
Beautiful defensive play by Jordan setting that up. That's the kind of fast break opportunity they had earlier with Harper and Jordan. That's the kind of result they should get. But it's, again, all being set up by the turnovers by New York.
Mason, Rodman.
You know, Anthony Mason is being very physical when he catches the ball in the low post with Dennis Rodman. He did not like the comments that Rodman made that were well publicized in his book about being overpaid. Nobody comes to watch him play.
I thought you didn't read that much of it.
No, I read it in the newspaper. But nobody comes to watch Dennis Rodman play except if he didn't have earrings, tattoos, and different colored hair. It's not because he's a great basketball player they come to watch him play.
Michael Royko, in his column in the Chicago Tribune today, confirmed the opinion of many, or he researched it, that that Rodman is a work of art. Certainly a work in progress. And he picks up a foul. 17 rebounds tonight. That is the foul is on Longley, beg your pardon, his fourth. And Ewing is going to the bench.
Oh, he's going after someone's making some sort of comment over there. Patrick didn't like what he heard.
I didn't see that one beginning. Michael Jordan with his arms around Patrick Ewing acting as a peacemaker.
You know what I love about situations like this is all the guys, look at all the players over in Chicago now pointing at him.
Jeff Van Gundy has come out. Ewing is still stalking and glaring.
And Jimmy Clemens is pointing at Patrick Ewing from behind the bench. I don't know what Jimmy said.
Well, he got a technical. So that obviously is the source of Ewing's anger.
Yeah, we can see Jimmy right there talking to him. Patrick not happy. Patrick can't go over to listen to the coach. You can't pay any attention to what the coaches have to say. Thank goodness the official got in the way or Jimmy Clemens might have been smashed.
How about Jeff Kersey? Kersey needs a medal for valor for getting in the middle of that one. So the technical, double technical on Ewing and Clemens. Ewing foul by Longley.
Another good aggressive moves. There's Jimmy Clemens, a guy that's probably up for some of the coaching vacancies around the NBA. Almost got the Toronto job last summer. An excellent, excellent assistant coach. Deserves a chance to be a head coach sometime soon.
Ewing at the line, 4 of 7 tonight, 5 of 8.
Jimmy saying, hey, I'll sacrifice myself for Patrick right now. Get us both ejected.
1 of 2 again for Ewing. Rodman grabs it. 18 rebounds for Dennis Rodman. Had a playoff high of 22 last year when he played for San Antonio in the series against the Lakers. Jordan calls for it, gets it. Derek Harper guards him. The lead is 12 with 6:15 remaining. Up and under. Shot is short. Oakley grabs it. Loose ball foul called on Chicago.
Beautiful strip by Michael right there. Pippen, 2-on-1 fast break. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. The greatest fear in basketball when you Derek Harper try to defend both of those guys coming down on the fast break.
Rodman picked up his 4th foul just a moment ago. The lead is 12. Charles Oakley back at the free throw line.
Well, they need every one of these points for them. They've had trouble scoring in the 4th quarter of game 1. They're having trouble right now taking care of the ball and finding good shots in the 4th quarter of game 2. Chicago's defense is spectacular, and everybody talks about how difficult it is to stop Pippen, to stop Kerr, Kukoc, Jordan, the whole Chicago offense. But the reality of it is it's very difficult to score against them in the last 6 minutes of game.
5 of 20 was New York in the 4th quarter of game 1. Rodman tries to save it and can't after the missed free throw. 6:10 to go in regulation play.
Well, Dennis treasures those rebounds. He lost that one. It was right in his hands. Lost it right out of bounds.
On the line, another turnover. Six minutes remaining in regulation. The lead, 11-76-65. Jordan, quiet 4th quarter. Every time we say that about Michael Jordan, he erupts. Here's Pippen, finds Rodman, who tries to find Longley and is knocked out of bounds, and a foul called. Nope, 3 seconds. It is a foul. On Starks, his 4th.
Look how the balloting went for Defensive Player of the Year. They got 3 guys in the top 7. Michael Jordan, a past winner. Scottie Pippen, runner-up. But those guys took votes away from themselves. As a team, Vern, there's no question in my mind. Forget what the statistics say. I think they're ranked 3rd in the league in defense, but they're definitely the best defensive team in all the NBA.
Well, they are averaging defensively a yield of 83 points a game in the first 4 in the playoffs. And here is New York sailing along with 65 with 5.5 remaining.
And under 40% field goal percentage.
Again.
And, I mean, they're so good. They're so long and lanky. They haven't shot the ball well. They haven't got good offense. And yet they find themselves in the 4th quarter up 11.
Ron Harper saves it, puts it in. 13-point edge.
More hustle points for the Bulls. Second chance and turnovers have killed the Knicks all night.
Harper. Scottie Pippen took the charge, draws the foul from Derek Harper.
Another beautiful defensive play by Scottie Pippen, sacrificing his body, reading the penetration by Harper.
Tony Kukoc is going to come on for Dennis Rodman.
Well, Dennis has had an excellent game. I'm not so sure that Phil Jackson is not doing this to keep, Dennis hasn't had a technical in the 2 games. Kukoc is struggling with a 13-point lead with 5 minutes. Maybe he wants to get a chance to Kukoc to get some rhythm going into New York.
Here's Scottie Pippen, who suddenly caught fire. That one misses for him, but he had 3 in a row earlier. And that thunder dunk just a few moments ago. Here's Anthony Mason. Charles Oakley, and Pippen fouls it. Oakley's a little upset.
Now, Oakley has no reason to be upset. You know, he's the one who invented those types of fouls. Scottie Pippen was just up in the air, came down on top of him. No reason to be mad other than the fact that you're down by 13.
Well, things look so promising for the Knicks in this ball game until a 7-0 run within a minute. It was 64-63 Chicago with 9:49 left in this one. And then all of a sudden, things went awry. Lead is 12. The Knicks with 7 points in the quarter. Oakley shoots another.
You know, when you do it one game, you can say, oh, we just didn't take care of the ball or whatever. But when they do it 2 games in a row, you have to give credit for the great defense by Chicago.
Pippen to Harper. And we've got 4:50 to go. Games 3 and 4 in New York on the weekend. Here's Michael Jordan. Foul on Derek Harper.
Well, that time right there, Harper got picked off by his own man. Mason tried to go behind the pick, defending Pippen, and bumped Harper off and allowed Michael to draw the foul from Harper.
Jeff Van Gundy was...
Technical foul, the Knicks, Derek Harper.
Derek Harper just got the technical.
Now the Knicks are very frustrated right now. You can see it in all the players.
That puts Michael Jordan on the line.
They've just played a couple pretty good games defensively. Pippen and Kukoc haven't done anything offensively. They've done a respectable job on Michael Jordan, and they're going to find themselves 0-2 headed back home.
4:46 to go in regulation in this one. Jordan gets it back from Pippen. Now Kukoc. Fade away over Oakley.
And the crowd gives Tony a big cheer. Finally hit a basket. Fadeaway jumper. I think they can exploit that matchup a lot more, but Tony just needs to have a lot more confidence.
Mason with the screen gets the pass from Derek Harper. 4:20 to go. Taken away by Kukoc into the hands of Ron Harper, who wants to go to the half-court set.
And right there, Mason tried to take advantage of Kukoc on the other end. That time, Kukoc made a beautiful play.
Pippen to Longley and knocked out of bounds. Take a look at Kukoc.
Right here, Mason wants to exploit him. Feels like he can take him down low and beat him off the dribble. Kukoc uses his long arms and strips the ball right into Harper's hands.
Time has been called. 4:07 remaining. This one's going to go Chicago's way. Well, our NBA playoff coverage continues tomorrow night on TNT. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Atlanta Hawks go in to take on the Orlando Magic in Game 1. Bob Neal and Hubie Brown will be down in Orlando for that one. Look how dismal the fourth quarter has been for the Knicks in these 2 games.
Well, again, we got to give credit to Chicago, but Vern, you see right there, 7 turnovers already in the first 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, and they only have 6 shot attempts. More turnovers than shot attempts. There's no excuse for that.
And as a result, the Knicks find themselves down by 14. Kukoc, Jordan, Rodman's back on with Pippen and Ron Harper. Michael Jordan from the corner. He's got 28.
And excellent post up by Michael. He can get that shot anytime he wants on the smaller Starks, Harper, or Davis, whichever guard they decide to put on.
Rodman guards Patrick Ewing now. Starks. Oh, dandy.
Well, Starks got away with a walk right there, but I think Jess feels a little sorry for the Knicks offense right now and gave him the continuation.
Yes, he did.
No basket.
Good call by Jess, not giving him the continuation. I thought he'd feel sorry for John there, but he traveled after he got fouled.
So no basket. Technical foul.
Technical foul, New York.
Double technical, Ron Harper and John Starks.
Well, New York, a very physical team, talks a lot of smack, Chicago, very confident team. He talks it right back at you.
Steve Kerr will come on now for Ron Harper.
And New York's going with their three-guard offense, trying to create some three-pointers, trying to get some offense here in the fourth quarter. They had such a tough time scoring.
Charles Oakley sits. So it's Davis, Harper, Starks, Mason, and Ewing.
And they got Hubert Davis defending Scottie Pippen. That's a big mismatch down in the low post.
Pippen gets it. 3.5 to go in regulation play. Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan. Brings it over to the right side. 5 on the shot clock. Jordan, pump fake, back to Steve Kerr for 3.
By going to the three-guard offense, it allows Phil Jackson to go to Steve Kerr to spread that floor for Pippen and Jordan down in the low post.
Anthony Mason back to Hubert Davis for 3, trying to counter and can't. Jordan saves it for Chicago. It's out of bounds off Derek Harper. In this quarter, the Chicago Bulls have outscored the New York Knicks by 15, 25-10.
New York just doesn't have enough weapons, Vern. I guess it's too late to make a trade or to sign free agents.
I've heard that. That might be worth another book signing session.
Well, he's going to make the most of it. He's going to make sure that everybody saw the dunk.
.239 remaining in regulation. That in 1993, and the defensive prowess of Chicago on display again tonight. They have held New York to 10 fourth quarter points. Here's John Starks, who makes it a 12-point quarter.
Well, Starks continues to be aggressive, going to the hole. It might be a little bit too late right now.
2:15 remaining in regulation. Kukoc, Judd Bushler is back on the floor now for Chicago. Here's Ron Harper, John Sally getting some playing time. Kukoc and Willie Anderson battle for it.
Now Tony Kukoc trying to get some more hoops, going hard to the offensive boards. It's not what you want to do in this situation. You don't want to foul and give New York a chance to make free throws and points without taking time off the clock.
2:06 to go in regulation play. Again, game 3 on Saturday afternoon, game 4 on Sunday afternoon. Those games on NBC this weekend. Game 5, if necessary, back here a week from tonight. Well, for the second game in as many in Chicago, the Knicks with a chance. But they shot themselves in the foot tonight, in part with the turnovers and the great defense by Chicago, particularly here in the fourth quarter.
Right, Vern. It's easy to say that they shot themselves in the foot, and I think that they'll even say that about themselves. But, again, people don't want to give Chicago the credit for the great defense they played. They made a good Miami offensive team look very, very bad as well.
Anderson. And the tip is good. But for the 5th consecutive game in the playoffs, a team is not going to get close to 100. The highest point total, Miami got 91 in one of the 3 games. And it's 88-75 right now. Kukoc underneath. Judd Bushler knocked out of bounds by John Starks. Patrick Ewing looks on. This one's over.
Yeah, Patrick being very frustrated, but the bottom line, Vern, is they're not as good as Chicago. New York played very hard. Patrick played hard, played well tonight. Starks played better tonight. They got a good performance out of everybody. For the most part, they're just not as good a team. It's that simple.
Sally goes to the free throw line. Saw the graphic about Inside the NBA coming up. Rick Mahorn will join Vince Cellini in the studio.
Ooh, and James Edwards wanted me to be sure to say hi to Rick on the air. Old teammates there in Detroit. They were the original bad boys before New York tried to imitate them a few years later.
Sally was one of that team, a member of it. So was Rodman. John fell into pretty good fortune this year.
Yeah, you start the season out being picked up by an expansion team, get waived, and you're playing on the best team in the NBA history.
Williams, Gary Grant, Willie Anderson for three. Judd Bushler grabs the rebound. Bushler, Ron Harper, Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr. We've got 50 seconds to go. Bushler, it's out of bounds, New York ball. Kerr, Steve Kerr looking at Tony Kukoc. What are you doing, man?
You're trying to throw the alley-oop to the volleyball player. It's a set lob on the weak side. That's a play they called, running down the court.
Oh, I didn't know you followed that stuff.
I don't. I've run into Judd a few times in San Diego on the beach playing volleyball.
Anderson underneath. 89-77. These are mop-up points. Here's Kukoc.
Well, Vern, New York is a team that's certainly not going to give up by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to come out and play hard in Game 3, but, I don't know what they can do. I mean, obviously take care of the ball and box out better, but, again, that's easier said than done against a Chicago team. Kukoc and Pippen really haven't shown up offensively until the fourth quarter. Pippen came to rise to the occasion. Very difficult. They're going to have to play perfect basketball. They're going to have to get a superhuman performance out of one of their stars to even have a chance to beat this Bulls team.
Kukoc gets them both. It's 91-77.
I think it helps New York that they have back-to-back games.
Do you?
At home. It's always harder to win games 2 in a row when you play back-to-back. It just seems in the NBA history that teams that win that first one lose that second one, even when there's a blowout involved or a lesser team involved.
Gary Grant misfires on that jumper. And the ball lands in the hands of the NBA Coach of the Year, Phil Jackson. Bulls win. Unblemished through 5 in the playoffs. They go up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series against the New York Knicks. And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Michael, obviously you had to get the whole team involved. It's a 48-minute game, but the fourth quarter, 2 minutes, 16 stretch, that's where the game was won when you outscored them 10-0.
Yeah, we made some big plays down the stretch. Defensively, we were able to hold them pretty stagnant. And, we got some big baskets by Scotty in the fourth quarter. And, Harper had played extremely well all game. And I think Steve Kerr came in and gave us a minute. So, when it came down to where we had to do something, we finally did it.
Any congratulations or comments about your coach being named Coach of the Year today?
I'm happy for Phil. I think he's very deserving of it. I think he's done a heck of a job with all the personalities and the different talents that we have in this team. He's blended to where it's a very powerful basketball team. I'm very happy for him.
No back pain?
No, I feel good.
Great. Michael Jordan, let's go back now to Vern.
All right, Craig. Well, on Monday, Oprah Winfrey had as her guest one Dennis Rodman. She's obviously excited by the victory. And moments ago, this was Dennis. Has established a tradition or a habit of giving away the jersey at the end of each game, and guess who got this one? So we have Danny Ainge wanted that.
I wanted that jersey, man. He gave me that book. I couldn't even take it home and let my kids read it.
Not for your kids, it's for you, brother.
Congratulations on the victory tonight.
Well, thanks a lot.
You had to really be disciplined. I had the sense tonight.
No, not really. I'm the kind of guy that's really intense. I want to be on the floor. I want to play, and I want to go out there and contribute. But, it's like every game, the first 5-6 minutes, I get 2 fouls. I'm on the bench. It's really frustrating.
Well, you played great tonight. You got a lot of rebounds out there. You match up with Oakley and Mason. You're able to handle Mason. The only guy on the team that was able to handle Mason one-on-one in the low post.
Well, I have no choice. I put everything I have, this 225-pound frame against this 260. So, hey, it's all the water tightness out there.
Well, you're going back to New York. Does the back-to-back sequence of these games on Saturday and Sunday favor you guys on the road, or do you think it gives a little edge to the Knicks?
I think it favors us because we love to play. We love to keep going. And for me, I love it. I don't want to have any time off. I want to get the first one.
All right, now we gotta. I gotta talk to you about it. I've known you for a while.
You can't see that, Danny.
Hey, you're not supposed to be able to play with jewelry on the court. If I was playing against Dennis Rodman, I'd tell the officials he's wearing jewelry.
There was a scene here over the weekend that I guess was hard to believe. There were people lined up for an autograph session that went how far? I mean, like 8 or 9 blocks back.
Yeah, they want to see the wild thing get wild. So.
And you've now been nicknamed Shakespeare by one of your teammates, I understand.
Well, you know, when you write a book like that and it's express the way you feel, I think you have no choice but give someone that's, you know, so-called a genius.
Hey, I noticed that they have a lot of bold. They have a lot of bold type in that book. Is that for the people that can't read?
That's right, for you, Danny.
You set yourself up for that one. You know that. Dennis, congratulations. 18 rebounds tonight. Good luck in New York this weekend.
Thank you.
The Bulls win it at home, 91-80, and they take a 2-game to none edge.